Thank you, David, for giving me the opportunity. Like our last speaker, Lena, brought up, deep tier financing is something that people would love to have. Uh, if you think of the current problems and why we need to explore some financing schemes, it's because there's a 2.5 trillion gap. That's according to the most recent ADB study on trade finance. A lot of players who are looking for financing are unable to get it. This is actually a larger number than what the same study a few years ago brought up, which was then 1.8 trillion. So why does this problem exist, and why do current technologies not help solve that problem? The problem exists because, as Lena noted, for the tier two supplier to be able to gain advantage of not the tier one, but the buyer, the anchor buyer's financing rate, right now it's very, very difficult. They have to prove the provenance of their shipments and link them up to the buyer. And then the buyer has to offer a program, and financiers need to be willing to participate. So you got many moving parts here. What blockchain allows one to do is to attest to the linkage of invoices across tiers. And more importantly, it allows for financiers to be comfortable in taking just one risk, and that risk is the anchor buyer's risk. So if you think of a program where a financier who's currently financing the anchor buyer, comfortable in taking their risk, is able to now expand the scope of the types of financing they can offer by financing tier two without having to onboard. This brings the third point that Lena brought up, which is onboarding of suppliers by financiers can be quite a cumbersome process, and it does not scale. If you think of thousands of tier two suppliers, for a bank to onboard all of these suppliers simply is not feasible. So is there a mechanism by which a financier can finance tier two suppliers without actually onboarding them, because you're only taking the anchor buyer's risk? QChain has put together a solution that essentially allows financiers to only take tier one risk and only essentially early pay tier two, and tier two already having a commercial arrangement with tier three can afford to pay tier three maybe a 30-day invoice at an early payment discount. All of this is possible because you need either a centralized registry or a distributed blockchain registry. All of this is possible because you have to go one step beyond digitization into digital asset formation, and these assets can then be bought and sold in a marketplace. So if you think of a platform that allows invoices to be turned into digital assets, and for third-party financiers to participate in financing these assets, and the commitment to be placed with the anchor buyer, you now can think of a solution, and this is how blockchain provides such a solution.